Hey guys, I'm heading out to HyVee to see Heather. She has the car, so I have to walk. It's a half an hour walk, so I thought I'd have some company. Thought about taking one of the straw hats, but I don't know. Incoming call. Well, AMC just called, talked to Heather. Whew, she is a popular gal. That's all I got to say. She's very good at these, interviewing and just finding jobs in general, seems like to me. I mean, I'm proud of her. Let's see here for the intermittent pause and stuff. Apparently, if the app does not have full control, it will pause and throw a fit. Sorry about that. I don't know really how doing a live stream through YouTube differs from doing a live stream on Facebook. So I guess this will be my test video for the quality. One thing I can say for sure is that it's not going to be a 4x3 screen. When people watch it, they'll be seeing it in 16:9, I'm guessing. Great for, for use on a desktop screen, but not as terribly useful when it comes to the cell phone screen, which most people keep upright when they're watching it. I think I gotta take a moment to move this tea jug off of the chain that's attached to my pants, because it is causing me some trouble. Oh boy. I do have another place to store it, so it's all good. I tried to offload some of the weight out of my bag to the chain that I have on my wallet. Alright. That ought to stop that problem. Alright. About the only thing I drink these days is water and green tea, using a no-calorie sweetener. So I have to say that lately I've been feeling like I want to up the amount. Guess I'll have to experiment. I think just an extra fourth a cup will probably get it where I need it. And I may use 4 tea bags instead of 3. Not only am I walking to HyVee to see Heather, but you know what? This kind of a trek, if I did it I don't know, semi-daily, once every day or two, will help me get my body back into a good condition. Funny thing is, I was not really ever in great condition as a child. And I would almost venture to say I think I'm in better shape now than I was when I was a kid. I mean, I couldn't tell you if I was just lazy and had all this energy or what, but I never really exerted myself. If there's ever one impossible thing that I wish I could do, it would be to go and talk to my younger self. Even if it weren't to try to change the outcome, since that's definitely impossible. I'd like to be able to, maybe someone will invent a machine that can scan your mind and figure out how to sort memories by, the order they happened, and maybe reconstruct, personality files from earlier in a person's life. I mean, most of the time, your personality is definitely a construct of the different elements that you go through every day. It's every time you go to plug in a lamp, you accidentally feel a shock, you're going to remember not to use that outlet. As a child, you may even go the extra step being afraid to plug in a lamp. Irrational, but at that age, you haven't really lived long enough to realize that electricity is what made the lamp turn on. Now, I may not be giving kids enough credit. I mean, when I say young, I mean young, like barely out of diapers young, I don't know. I will say, and this is definitely something I've got to work on, is that I am feeling some discomfort in my legs. And if I'm lucky, doing this regularly, my legs will get into the shape they need to not have that pain anymore. And this carry bag is not a light thing. I mean, it contains all the things I'm going to need to use when I get to where I'm going. I'm going to do some research, and I might even just take some time to do my homework. I'm thinking that we'll be working on chapters 12 and 13. I could get most of the easy work done right now, and then maybe later today, after Heather gets off work and we go back home, I can go through the book and try to find where the answers are. That way, if there's any questions as to whether the answers are right or wrong, I can go, well, this is where the answer can be found, on page 243. Boy. I remember a long time ago, I would make these walks all the time. which probably leads me to the concept that while I'm definitely in better shape than my young self, my adolescent self might be in about the same shape. But can you imagine? They go through and they're able to extract a full copy of your memory in temporal order. So, you can literally watch it front to back if, for some reason you wanted to. And then it came up with an algorithm that could stop at any point in that timeline and allow you to interact with a virtual version of your younger self. I mean, it's not impossible. The moment this is going to happen will be when they finally perfect a direct interface that goes from biological to mechanical, which actually kind of is an interesting concept. Some of the more interesting bits of research are actually more like taking mechanical and making it more biological. You can see this in the creation of artificial nerves that they've invented recently. They work off biochemical signals, just like real nerves, but they're, man-made. They're currently too large to be implanted in the human brain. But just imagine if they can scale it down. Well, once you get it interfacing with the other neurons, then you can, got that right size, then you can start improving on the neuron. Then you put a few pre-programmed neurons in there designed to help translate the information in your brain outwardly so that it can be used at whoever's, hopefully the person whose brain it is would have the only real access. I'm sure conspiracy theorists will be like, this is what leads up to thought crime. I can't deny that if one's memory could be accessed and viewed, that would make it pretty easy to monitor. Well, there's no doubt that this technology has some downsides that could happen, but I think that it's worth it, especially if we recognize those potential downsides now and maybe build in a safeguard, make it so that the artificial neurons cannot be accessed remotely. Oh boy. And across the street. If the wireless ability is added, built-in safeguards that prevent long distance, remote access. Maybe go as far as to make it near frequency communication, where you have to be within feet just to be able to access it. And that's probably what it would be like. You would have to almost be right on top of the person to do any interfacing. So there, I mean, I guess that's the one reason why I don't tell people to shut the heck up when they bring up all their ideas of what could go wrong. Because the fact is, once you recognize what could go wrong, you can prevent it. You can then enable security, take steps and yeah, I mean, am I saying that nothing bad will ever happen? No. Bad things happen all the time. Does the fact that bad things happen mean you should stop trying to do what you want to stop enjoying life? I hope not, because it was just the other day when I took my first walk to HyVee. I can tell you, I could have swore I saw somebody pull out a gun and yell. He was yelling threateningly at this other guy, and it didn't end up being as bad as it could have been, because the guy never fired it, never tried to kill anybody that day, not that I'm aware of. And so the whole thing ends up being a non-event for everyone but me, who I may have been one of the few who noticed it that day. And the fact is, that guy must be around here somewhere. Something about that situation upset him, and he could still be around. And who's to say he isn't going to be out today, just as angry but more trigger happy? There's a chance that today he's going to feel like pulling that trigger when he gets ticked off. And then he might be like, well, I'm in it now. I done shot somebody, and now I got witnesses I need to take care of. That could happen. It's probably very unlikely that it'll happen, but it could. Thus, it has to really be weighed. Do I not walk to HyVee to see my wife and risk a repeat? Would that really make me any safer if I just stayed indoors and never did anything again? No, but eventually something else will happen. I've ate my share of fried food, and who knows? I may end up with a blood clot. Anything can happen. So, even staying home isn't going to keep me safe or guarantee that I live any longer. It'll just mean that in the time that I do have here, I'll probably be bored out of my mind. I think that this philosophy is a true philosophy, regardless of what your religious beliefs are. Whether you believe in God, or you believe in Jesus, you believe in Muhammad, any of them. Doesn't matter, because in the end, you have to really just, you can't be sure what's going to happen when you do finally have to die. When it's all over, that's when you'll find out. Me, I think about it like this. I believe in heaven. I believe that I will have to tell my story of how I lived my life. I haven't always lived it in the strictest sense of my faith, and I still struggle to try to maintain a good path. But I don't want to go before Peter or whoever's going to hear my story. I don't want to have to go before Jesus, Yeshua, whatever his name is when we're there. I don't want to have nothing to tell him. I don't want him just tell him I lived a very safe life. I just stayed in my house and I did nothing. It doesn't seem like that's what you want to tell your Creator, that you did with the life He provided you with. I know I started somewhere with that. Just that my experience yesterday, if I took it as a lesson to learn, would have taught me to not go out, to not venture forward and take, small chances. I mean, it's not even a big chance. The odds of another guy, or even that same guy, suddenly showing up brandishing that same weapon is probably next to none. He might very well be in hiding right now because of what he did. The guy he was yelling at might be on his trail. You don't know. I think if somebody were to stop and offer me a ride right now, I'd say thank you, but I have to do this. I have to make this walk. If not, because it gives me something to say I did with my life, but that I was doing something for my life. I wish you could multicast, send out a signal to both, like Facebook and YouTube. That way this one video could hit and reach more people. That would be pretty cool. I don't even know if my voice is coming through loud and clear. I may go and try to watch this video and be like, oh, here's wind! Strange thing that even though it's recording and broadcasting to YouTube, the stream will still time out. I wonder how long the stream will stay off before it's paused the recording. So far, every time I've turned the stream back on, I noticed no pause or anything. If I am right, I'm about 5 minutes away from my destination. Walking and talking is not as easy as it should be. rug. I don't know. Date Farm. I will say the one downside I'm seeing to face or YouTube Live is that nobody's watching. I get about somewhere around the area 10 people watching my Facebook feed. It may just be the time of day, given that I did in fact put a link to this video on my Facebook wall. So you never know. What time is it? It is 4:37. I will have some waiting time indeed. I think I will probably switch over to Facebook Live when I get there. Just so, you know, I have a more direct link to my Facebook friends there. Strange, I could have swore yesterday I was there after 30 minutes. Oh boy, oh boy. I've just completely run out of things to say. Well, I will see y'all on the Facebook side if you have me on your friends list there. If not, hopefully I'll be able to make a video soon.